Rabbit. There we go. Oh, hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing great. I cannot believe all of the news stories I am about to bring you are happening at once. There are calls for destruction of the Federal Reserve. There are banks in trouble. There are companies going out of business. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know where to start. So let me just click the first thing. I might get angry and show a crazy chicken at some point. Type 1 if you are alive and well and you can hear me. Let's get the algorithm fired up. And why doesn't my first story want to load? What's wrong? It's about the 800 lots of money being lost in the banks. Okay, here we go. You know, when I get frustrated, I just go straight to the schnitzel. I don't know. I just go into that kind of accent. I don't even know what kind of accent that is. Go ahead and type it down below. All right, here we go. Bank of America bracing for $800 million loss as investigators probe B of A, JP Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo's alleged refusal to reimburse customers. Now, I will say this. I've been talking about the banks for quite some time. And I've been saying it's good to diversify. Even myself, I have gotten caught in some problems with banks, trying to send money from one bank, one financial institution to the next. And they go, I'm sorry, you cannot do that. And I had to go using our bank, right? This is why we have different banks. This is a big deal. Things are getting crazy and they're going to get crazier. It says the second largest U.S. bank by total assets says it's preparing for significant losses due to ongoing regulatory issues. Oh, that was loud. Crap. That was my mics. Hopefully I didn't break them. All right. Calm down, Ninja. Look, Warren Buffett was selling his Bank of America stock for a reason, not because he didn't like the name, because he knows how bad the whole institution is. And remember, last November, they were out there whining in front of Congress, Bank of America CEO, JP Morgan's, there's a bunch of them, sitting there getting upset, going, hey, if you make us pay higher rates for FDIC insurance, we're not going to be able to compete on the main stage. That should show you how bad things are going. It says here in a new filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, Bank of America says it's facing reasonably possible and estimatable loss of up to $800 million due to investigations from Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB, and other financial regulators. Now, if Bank of America starts turning downward in its stock price, it's going to take other banks with it, all right? And I don't think people understand that right now, these banks are facing quite a challenge. They're collapsing, the regional banks, because of commercial mortgage debt. Small banks are crashing because of car loans and things like that it made to customers. And it's having a hard time keeping these on their books because the second they start to write them down, they got to share all that info with their shareholders and essentially the world, because people like me are going to watch and report on it. And you have big banks with all kinds of other problems. So we're not going to get into his name Trump. And actually, his name is Elon, and I'm going to cover that story at the end because it's honestly the most juiciest. Real quick, I want to state something very clear. I just talked to Dylan, and we made a decision. As of Monday night, I don't know what time he's going to turn it off. The deal for the Tax Lien Pro and the Tax Foreclosure Master Course, man, that's a tongue twister, is never going to be that price again, okay? It's going up after that. And as a matter of fact, we're going to shut it down for a little bit of time to get all of the new students, and the coaching is going to be shut down for a little bit of time, a handful of weeks, because we want to get all of the students that believed in me now while I'm building up the lessons. And I think now I'm up to 27 at the editor, and we've only got 7 back right now. So we're kicking butt trying to get this done. We want to get everybody in and bidding on auctions as soon as December. Okay. So if you want, links down below. It's never coming back again. That's my only commercial. So we know that we have problems with the Bank of America. Check this out. Next story is out of San Francisco Gate, and this has to do with real estate. San Francisco tech company Open Door. How many of you have heard of Open Door? Say, I have. And if you haven't, say, I haven't. It's okay. They're pretty crappy. Once worth $18 billion, lays off 300 workers as losses mount. Check this out. This is exciting because the real estate market is imploding, okay? Real estate agents, a lot of them have left the business and are going to, retail or wherever they're going. I wish them well. It's tough because it's an extremely cyclical cycle. Very few people, real estate agents, have really dove into social media. Some have even taken my courses. I hear from them and they're crushing it. But it's a sad day for real estate, but it's not a sad day if you want to invest in it, like buying liens and deeds and learning all these cycles. Open Door, which is a real estate tech company headquartered in San Francisco, announced Thursday it will lay off 300 workers. CEO Kerry Wheeler announced the cuts, which total 17% of Open Door staff. Remember, anytime we go over 10% of cuts of total employees, things are getting really rough. In a letter to shareholders attached to the company's quarterly earnings report, they continue a brutal trend of Open Door's staff. The company slashed 550 jobs in November of 2022 and 560 more in April of 2023. But the layoffs haven't reversed Open Door's fortunes. The firm lost $278 billion. Oh, sorry, I got really excited. Million. I just like saying billion. From January through September. Wheeler, in her letter, wrote that the layoffs are part of a reorganization aimed at prioritizing strategic growth initiatives, flattening reporting structures, and driving efficiencies. What she should really say is, we're screwed. We got to lay people off because we need to try and raise some more money, and all those employees are dead weight. Type 3 if you agree that she should really say that, because that's the truth. All right, next one. Oh, this is juicy. No, I'm holding on. This is Elon Musk. This is a big deal. I know it sounds crazy in a world where if one person retweets something, that means they vote for that. And I'm going to share that in just 1 second. But first, I got to do this one. Putin, the left's greatest fear of him joining forces with our new president. Putin outlines the moment of truth. Now, this is really important, okay? So I'm going to try and stay serious. President Putin's session performance at the annual Valdidi Club meeting in Sochi felt like a high-speed train on cruise control. Totally cool, calm, comfortable, in full command of a Himalaya of facts. No political leader anywhere, recent, past, and present, would even come close to delivering what amounts to an extensive, detailed worldview, deeply matured over a quarter of a century at the highest geopolitical level. Putin began his address referring to the October 1917 revolution. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. This is a good one. Drawing a direct parallel with our turbulent times. The moment of truth is coming. In a clear tribute to Gromynsky, he stated how a completely new world order is being formed before our eyes. He's actually referring to what George Bush, the first one, said about we have entered a new world order along with all my satanic buddies, and we're going to control you guys. That's actually, I think what he's doing is he's saying, oh yeah, we're getting a whole new world order, which means we're separating from your world order, and we're going to bring commodities and take them to a moonshot. How many of you own commodities right now or crypto and are just absolutely mind blown? And I'll tell you, I had a little mini meltdown earlier today because I'd put some more money. Every month I put money away into commodities. I've been doing this, no joke, for the last 14 years, since 2010. And Mrs. Ninja at times is like, seriously, when's enough? Oh my gosh, can we have a conversation about something else? I'm like, no, more silver, more gold, more Bitcoin. And like today, on a day where Bitcoin cruises from, 74, 75 grand to, a cool 81, you're like, yeah, crap, I did have cash that I was going to buy yesterday and I got busy. And it just sounds funny because so many of us get busy with life. And there are kids' games to go to, and there's, church to go to, and family to have over for the holidays and stuff. And you're just like, crap, but what did I do with my investments last month? And you're watching this, and every single one in here, do me a favor. I don't know if you've done it yet. Hashtag your favorite commodity or your favorite crypto right now that you've been buying right now, okay? Something that is anti-inflationary, meaning that as inflation rises, so too does one of these assets, right? It's a inflationary hedge, if you will. Just hashtag it down below. So you got people with XRP, silver. XRP is like at 59 cents right now. I think it's going to have a pullback. I'm hoping it does. Theta, you've got all kinds. Look at all these people. And every single one of them right now, watch this. Type 100 if you're super pumped. And watch everybody type 100 because they're going to be like, yeah, we're winning. We're not losing. So now we're about to go from this very incredible cycle and it's not happening right now, but I need you to get ready for it, right? I started with the real estate cycles course to teach you about it. I even told people in that course, if you'll buy gold instead of waiting for real estate to drop, watch what happens to the price of gold. That's a hint. And then real estate will, like that. Really cool sound effects. I don't even need an editor to do that crap. So I'm sitting there, and we're about to move into this cycle of foreclosures and REOs and all this stuff. And most investors, that's where you wish you were at. Oh my gosh, I wish I could buy a foreclosure. And here I'm going, no. I'm going to show you how to buy tax liens and tax foreclosures, which are way better because you can put less money and make more of a return. I saw a comment earlier today from somebody who goes, yeah, most of those deeds take up to 2 years to redeem. So it's not worth a lot of money. I'm like, yeah, I guess 36% over 2 years, guaranteed by a government plan. That's just not a good deal. So you shouldn't do it. So let me ask you this: if you think that getting 18% per year on a tax lien for 2 years, so that's what, 36% plus any penalties and fines that are levied on top of that, isn't good, then do me a favor and say it's not good. If you think that's a pretty good rate of return, can you do me a favor and say, yes, that is awesome? Like, do that. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Yazvan Yimilet. Man, that's one heck of a channel name. He says, thanks for the super chat. You and Jay Bravo need to start a podcast. Also, you're the man, up 6 figures since following your advice. That is freaking awesome. Now, just make sure you're not one of those crazy people that hold on forever. You gotta get some exit points. We gotta pull some money out. We don't want to have angry, crazy chickens going, saying, "I wish I would have sold." Okay, so just know that. All right, Ninja's in an interesting mood. So yes, if you think that's a good return, is 36% pretty fair to get on your money in 2 years? Just say yes, it is down below. All right, and then I would highly suggest going and checking out this course, because I think over the next year, it will be the best money you've ever spent on financial education, especially in the realm of real estate. All right, here we go. So Putin was saying here is a new world order, and we're not putting up with your world order, George Bush, Obama, and all you other globalists. And it says right here, 6 principles for a global sustainable development. He comes through here and pretty much destroys them all. Now let's get to the last story, which is very, very important, because now that Trump's in, you have to understand, I don't know if the Federal Reserve is going to be around much longer. Now, if that gets you excited, can you imagine a world where all of a sudden it's brought out to the mainstream? All right, do me a favor, type 1,000 if you think this would be awesome. If all of a sudden the truth went mainstream and the president of the United States said, did you know the Federal Reserve is a private bank and that they work under a charter that we give them, and they issue the creative money, and it is through interest rate manipulation that they control markets? Can you imagine if the president of the United States said that? Wouldn't that be really cool? Well, you've got this guy, his name's Elon Musk, and he reposts, and I'm just going to throw out a shout out, Elon. If you want to revamp parts of the government, I will gladly take a fire chief position with the Department of Defense Fire Department and train them in a way that will blow even their minds. So if you are so obliged to give me a call, all right? And here we go. And Elon, you do know who to call to get my number, because we have common friends. All right, here we go. Elon Musk appeared to support a call to end the Federal Reserve Bank in the United States after reposting a tweet from Utah Senator, so it's coming from inside the government, Mike Lee, who called for greater executive oversight over monetary policy and abolishing the central bank. Hey guys, if you had to vote, if this was on a ballot, say, I'd vote for that. I know it sounds like a Hall & Oates song. I would vote for that. Whoa, I crush the central bank. I would vote for that. Seriously, I said I was in a weird mood. Just say I'd vote for that if all of a sudden that was on the ballot, to abolish the central bank, allow the government to issue money, the Trezor to actually issue money, and then say it's gold-backed. Just like the government said, our founding fathers in the Constitution. Money shall be in no form other than gold or silver coin. Says, comes from Mike Lee, who called for greater executive oversight over monetary policy and abolishing the central bank. Lee argued that Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's recent assertion that he would not resign from his post, even if asked by the incoming President Donald Trump, represented an out-of-control system. Well, good news. See, the truth is, he was appointed by the president, And it is sort of a little thing because the president doesn't have to appoint or really doesn't have control over the Federal Reserve having who they want as chairman. But here's the good news: the president can actually tell everybody how this really works. And he could point to channels like this and other great channels on the internet that have talked about the Federal Reserve System and how it is here to kill, steal, and destroy. And that is not a joke. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you to everybody that supports this channel. I did a very important interview on my X platform under Travis. That platform, there's two channels, and and uh, and just know that there's a lot of fake people out there trying to pretend they're me. With an attorney, you'll see a picture of me and an attorney wearing a blue and a suit with a red tie. It's a very important interview. It's not getting any play now that Trump has won. I think a lot of people have given up and like, everything's good. But this is a very important document that he filed a restraining order against how they were cheating. And I want you to understand that they're gonna, I believe they're gonna cheat for the House. And we have to get this information out because I think a lot of ballots were destroyed, not in the way that you think. And this TRO that was filed is very important. So if you'll go and check out my platform, I'll try and put a direct link to it underneath the last call for the bundle course for Tax Lien Pro and Tax Foreclosure Master. It'll never be that price again. Price going up after Monday. And as a matter of fact, we're not even going to offer it for a couple of weeks. All right. Hey, Mike Abraham, thank you so much. And thank you for thanking me for the Hall & Oates shout out. Mike, you're awesome. All right, with that being said, everybody, the Economic Ninja and Crazy Chicken are out. Jeez, quiet down. Yes.